SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
And we begin here. Women from various civil society groups are expected to gather at the Union buildings in Pretoria today to demand urgent government action against gender-based violence. The marchers are calling for stronger protection, accountability and meaningful reforms to address what they describe as a national emergency. Watching the story is SABC News reporter Patricia, who joins us now from the country's capital. And Patricia, get us a sense of the turnout so far, given just how much coverage it seems this leg of the G20 summit has received so far.
Good morning, Ayanda, and of course to our viewers. So far, absolutely no show of the women at the Union buildings, but we understand that they are on their way here, because you'd know that their communication has been indicating that they will be at the Union buildings around midday, that is around 12 o'clock. So it's still early. It seems probably in the next hour we'll start seeing them, of course, as they will be painting the lawns of the Union buildings purple. And this is ultimately as they will be having a lie down symbolic gesture for about 15 minutes, where they're ultimately sending out a message that the world has to come to a standstill and take note of the scourge of gender-based violence in South Africa. You would understand that they have been saying that the global leaders who are gearing up for the G20, of course, Africa's first sitting on the continent that's led by South Africa, saying that it cannot just be about economic development and, of course, the principles of the G20, which is solidarity, sustainability and equality, but they're saying that the crisis of the violence, the level of violence that women and children are facing in South Africa, that should be top of the agenda. But we understand that President Cyril Ramaphosa has already declared the scourge of gender-based violence in the country a national crisis. So the women that will be meeting here at the Union building are saying that they want the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide to be declared a national disaster. That is their call, and they're taking that to the leaders of the G20, saying that they need to prioritize this in their talks, and some sort of winnable action plan needs to be developed at these discussions that would ultimately see the end of gender-based violence and femicide in the country. They're saying that when you look at the stats, you've got about 15 women that are murdered daily in South Africa, and over 100 that are subjected to sexual violence, and of course equally so children that are subjected to the same level of atrocities and violent culture in South Africa. And they are ultimately saying that there cannot be order, there cannot be business as usual in the country, there cannot be talks that are held around global solidarity and economic development when the most vulnerable in the country, which are women and children, are still fearing for their lives daily. So at midday, we expect the groups to start here. You'd understand that this is a national action. You have various meeting points. There are women who will be meeting at the Pretoria Square. There are women that are meeting at the University of Pretoria as well. But ultimately, the Union buildings is their final stop, where they will be standing in solidarity and echo their message to the globe at large that things are not normal when it comes to many women. Their safety lies in their hands, and they have to come up with some sort of action plan that will see proper interventions that would ultimately lead to the end of gender-based violence. I mean, we have to just recap some of the incidents that has happened recently that have caused a lot of panic here in the capital city. For instance, you've got the two young ladies in Mamelodi recently. It made headlines who were murdered. You have the women whose burnt bodies were found along a railway line in Eersterus here in the capital city. All these are issues, of course, that are at the heart of this particular action that the women are driving today, saying that as the global leaders search for Africa's first G20 summit, they should prioritize this, as women play a vital part in the economic machinery of every country. Ayanda?
Absolutely. Patricia, Visagie, thanks very much indeed. As you mentioned, this is a story that's unfolding in various parts of the country. Patricia's live to us from Pretoria for now. Thanks very much indeed.